Carowra Tank itself, it's in private property. It used to be a mission between 1800 and 1930. A lot of the Nyimpa people were born, originated from around Carowra Tank, Kajuliga, Kiwong, all that basic area around there, and Carowra Tank was a special place because it actually had a school. It had 16 to 18 students. It had a school teacher full-time. It also had a manager, a mission manager as they used to call them in them days. And there's a lot of people alive today that associate with Carowra Tank. I'm one of them, descendants from there. My grandmother went to school out at Carowra Tank. There was what they call a old people's camp, where the elders were away from all the modern stuff. When I say modern stuff, in them days it was tin huts and that, and the old people just camp out in the scrub sort of thing, traditionally. It was also one of the first places that Aboriginal people actually started burying people in coffins. It's pretty significant in the sense that that's where a lot of Carowra Tank and that's where a lot of Nyimpa people associate with. That's sort of the hub of the Nyimpa country down the south anyhow. I think this project, it had a fair bit of natural resource management in it in regards to, I suppose, looking after the plot of land, and that's mainly what we were looking at, like the cemetery site itself. And so we had to look at what condition the mallee was in, whether it was good, what are the conditions around it, erosion problems, weed problems, all that sort of stuff around the plot, which in our case, at this particular site, was really, really good all around. You know, the rest of the country around there is basically red loamy sort of country, which is pretty prone for erosion and all that sort of stuff. But where the site is, it's fairly well protected through the mallee and where it is situated. This is one of them projects that come along, and they don't come along a lot, where you're not just got the local community involved, you've got a vast community of the same tribal group or same group involved in that one community. Ivanhoe Working Party, they were one of the pushers behind it. Lachlan CMA, without them, like, the funds probably wouldn't have been available. Office of Environment and Heritage now, giving me the time to actually do the project. Winangiri Aboriginal Corporation, who auspiced the funds for the Ivanhoe Community Working Party. DAA, because they've got a coordinator that goes out and helps the Ivanhoe Working Party. The landowners, and CDEP from Ivanhoe. And LandRAC, Lachlan Aboriginal Natural Resource Management Group, they were also involved in it too. So it's been a good outcome, I think, all around in regards to getting the elders in the community, showing them that something can be done. Takes a little bit of time, but it can be done and can be done properly. It's finishing off unfinished business when it comes to Aboriginal people. Now the people of today can say Carowra Tank Cemetery is protected because we've fenced it off, it's got signage, it's not going to get disturbed. Anything happens, there's rules and regulations. But it's not only that, it's finishing off unfinished business with elders that have passed on. They now know that they're being protected. Little community like Ivanhoe, and you get 15 people turn up to help do the project, and you get a bigger places like, you know, there's bigger townships around with 20, 30,000 people. You go do a project, you get 6 people turn up. You know, it's just the commitment of the Ivanhoe community. We had a few young people out on site. We had a couple of 18, 19-year-old people out there and a fair few elders. We finished the project, and now the young people asking when the next project's happening. When are we doing something else out here that we can Where else can we protect stuff? Where else can we do stuff? You only need little projects like this, and then the flow-on effect sort of blossoms from there. It builds and it gradually picks up steam and picks up speed, and then all of a sudden you got, you know, Ivanhoe Community with, say for argument's sake, 20 young people that didn't want to do nothing with Aboriginal cultural heritage because they didn't know it. Now you got about 10 of them people wanting to do stuff, so you got half of that bunch of 20 wanting to go out and learn more about their cultural heritage, and it all come from the one project. Yeah.